Hey, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy X coming at y'all with a brand new video, and as you guys can see, obviously, we're doing another tier list, this one being on the best centers in 2K21 Myteam. So if you guys are excited, make sure you guys smash the like button down below, or just to help your boy out, hit the like button down below. It always helps out the YouTube algorithm and all that wonderful stuff, so please hit the like button. But if you guys want to check out the PGs, the shooting guards, the small forwards, or the power forwards tier list that we did right before the end of the month, those will all be linked in the description down below. So once we get finished with the centers one, you guys can check those and have a little bit of fun with this. You know, where everybody is ranked in 2K21. So without further ado, let's hop right into the tier list. I'll show you guys everybody that we got down in D tier, and we have quite a bit of them this time around. And here we go. We have a Ruby Simbalar, Diamond Rudy Gobert, Ruby Mitchell Robinson, Ruby Hassan Whiteside, Sapphire Festus Azili, Amethyst Bismack Biyombo, and Diamond Antonio Davis. Now, Simbalar is a big body. Like, my dude is a thick boy, and he's like 7'5", but he just has terrible speed and just not great stats. So we had to go down in here. Rudy Gobert annoys me. Like, I just don't like Rudy Gobert, to be honest. But on top of that, he also just has like terrible defense, or good defense, but like terrible offense. So like, yeah, you're gonna lock it down, but like, is he gonna score though? Probably not. Mitchell Robinson's kind of the same way as Rudy Gobert, just a little bit worse. It's on Whiteside. Can be fun if you like non-traditional bigs that can still hit a little bit of a midi. He's cool. Festus Azili is just trash. Bismack Biyombo is cool. He's got the occasional midi, good rebounder, okay defender, but like, why would you use him? And Antonio Davis, mid-range demon, pretty good defender, but again, I don't really see a lot of reason to use anybody that we got down here in D tier. Now, starting off the B tier, we do have a Diamond Kareem Abdul-Jabbar from the very first retro set that we did get. Normally, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar cards are pretty solid, but all the ones that we've got this year so far, they've been pretty bad. Not gonna lie, most of the ones that we've received this year for Kareem, I just haven't really been a fan of, and this one's no different. Just like, really supposed to be a great defender, but not that great, because you got to add a badge or two. He's not a shooter, even from the midi. Like, he has an 84, but no badges to help out that midi. Okay post guy, but overall, just not too much reason to use Kareem. Next up is Pink Diamond Patrick Ewing, a card that used to be up in the A to S tiers of cards, but like right now, just there's no way I'm going to use him. Like, yeah, he's a post guy. Yeah, he's a good defender. And he can rebound well, but like basically every card is now. It's not special for Ewing, and his animations are just terrible. Next up is Amethyst Jarrett Allen, one of the cards that we got most recently on Friday with the wonderful Flash set. He is the one that you can go through, grind about a little bit of XP in the agendas, and you can get yourself a free Jarrett Allen. He gets one Hall of Fame badge, was an Intimidator, and he's an insanely good defender. Also has a lot of good finishing post game, a decent three-pointer of like a 79, but he's missing a lot of badges. And to be honest, he's just not a guy that I really see myself liking. If you've used Jarrett Allen and you definitely are like, massive fan, you think he should be B tier, like, that's great. But to be honest, I really don't think I'm going to be using Jarrett Allen anytime soon. I'm just going to get him because there's XP tied to him. Next up is Amethyst Clint Capela. We said it last time, like, I really do not see a reason or a world in which somebody would like go out of their way, get excited to use a Clint Capela card, unless you're one of those like stan accounts on Twitter and for some reason you have Clint Capela. And if you do, I'm sorry. Genuinely am. But, I mean, like, Capela's just a defender and, a lob threat. There's just no real reason to be using him out of anything. I definitely would pick Jarrett Allen over Clint Capela, but I wouldn't pick them over anybody else that we have above. Next up, we do have Brad Daughtry, a Throwback Moments card, and is purely into C tier because I didn't think he was as bad as everybody that we have in D tier, because he can play some quality defense, he can do some okay things on offense, but overall, just meh. Next up is Ruby Taco Fall, a card that I put up in a C tier because this dude can guard whoever he wants. And he was another free card, which again is always pretty cool. It's always kind of fun. They get some free cards. And Taco is 7'5" with an 8'2" wingspan. Like, that really helps. Really good post guy, really good dunker and lob threat. Decent speed for a 7'5" guy, a 60. Better than Simbular's 30 by a lot. A good midi of a 75 and a decent jumper. And one of the few cards that I feel like actually can kind of guard Yao Ming, because he does have a good strength. He has a good interior, a good block, good animation, or badges, and he's just massive. So, that's why we threw him in C. Next up is Galaxy Bill Walton. I realized that was a little bit harsh. Bill Walton's definitely not a D tier. He's definitely C. Like, ooh, he went from the worst tier up to the second worst tier. Like, good job for him. But In all actuality, Bill Walton is one of the best post guys you could have in the game. He's a good defender, and he occasionally can, shoot it in the mid-range and do that sort of stuff. Like, he's cool. I'm not, like, super mad at him, but I don't really see too many reasons to get him. And if you got him off the extension, like, I get you probably want to use him, but let's be real, he definitely is the worst Opal that we have in the game now. And last but not least, in the C tier, we do have Amethyst Jonas Valanciunas, a card that can do a little bit of everything, but just doesn't really have a lot of the badges that I would want out of him, and he just doesn't provide me with too much. An okay jumper, an okay this, an okay that. Just a lot of okay from Jonas Valanciunas, and it's just not what I'm looking for out of him. He's good, but because he's free. But I feel like, in general, if he was dropped in packs and you had to pay MCT for him, nobody would be excited. Now, starting out the B tier, we do have Galaxy Opal Wilt Chamberlain, a guy who's just like one of the better back-to-the-basket bigs at the time, so I decided to throw him into B, along with one other guy. There's like 3 cards that are back-to-the-basket, like mainly post-game, inside, and defensive bigs, and I think Wilt Chamberlain is definitely one of those like top 3 in there. So B tier, we have with him, and sadly, the other one is in here, although at the end, in Galaxy with Bill Russell. I guess we'll just fill it out, but we'll throw Bill Russell over there. But Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain, in my eyes, are almost identical. I think they have slightly different jumpers, slightly different stats. Like, Wilt is a little bit more offensive heavy, and Bill Russell is more defensive heavy. But either way, you're kind of putting them into the game for the same kind of thing. Back to the basket big men that are going to play really good defense, get a lot of boards, and just kind of lob threats kind of thing. So, B tier they are. Next up is Ruby Mo Bamba, and let me tell you, this Ruby Mo Bamba is an absolute glitch. Like, absolute glitch. Such a fun card, I feel like, to use for most people. If you haven't tried him out, you should. But he's kind of like the new age limited demon because he's 7 foot with a 7'10 wingspan. He's just a good shooter with a good jumper. He's a really good rebounder and a really good just defender in the paint. The one thing that's a little bit tough is he only has a 60 strength, and that's the main weakest on this card. If he had a little bit higher, I think he'd be great. But he also does have a duo with Jonathan Isaac, one of the other budget demons in the game. They make both of them just a little bit better, which could be cool. But, yeah. Mo Bamba's just like that dude. One of the best Ruby centers that we have right now. Next up is going to be the Diamond Rudy Gobert, a card that I've never really been a fan of. I've never had him higher than A tier. And as time going on, I'm liking him less and less, to be honest. And with Rudy Gobert, he's just one of those... I don't know. I just don't like Rudy Gobert cards in general. I understand he's a good shooter, but in my eyes, he's always just been like a slightly worse, Tim Duncan, and I still feel that way now. Like, yeah, he can be a good shooter. Yeah, he can be a good defender, but, like, that's really all he's doing. And there's a lot of other cards I think that do that just as well or a little bit better, including Pink Diamond Free Retro Kevin Love. This might be a little bit more of a hot take with Kevin Love, and I understand that. It's cool. If it's too hot of a take, let me know down in the comments. But with Kevin Love, I feel like, yeah, he's a really good shooter. I understand he has Hall of Fame range, and he's going to be a good interior defender, but he doesn't really have the perimeter or the playmaking that a lot of the centers are getting now in the A and the S tier, so I put him down. If you are looking for a guy who's just going to be a straight-up catch-and-shoot, pick-and-pop kind of guy and play in the paint, you know what? Kevin Love's your guy, but for me, I think that just lands him right in the B tier. He's just solid. Next up is Pink Diamond Karl Malone, who I think as a power forward is a little bit better than he is as a center, but still is a super, super solid and super quality card. Because, I mean, when a guy has 23 Hall of Fame badges, you kind of got to nice him a little bit. Hall of Fame quick for 7 downhill are all great. Has amazing defensive badges, comes with clamps, comes with deep threes already, and is one of the best finishers you'll find in the game. As a back-to-the-basket big, it's just a straight-up dunker. He's insane, and he just has great animations overall. The only thing I don't love is he is 6'9", and I've been running into a lot of Yao Mings lately, and yeah, Karl Malone's not going to be able to guard 7'6" Yao. Like, that's just kind of how it goes. I don't mind the jumper. I don't mind Karl Malone in general, but I just think he's a little bit too small to be playing the center position. I would rather have him as a power forward. Next up is Diamond Deandre Ayton, one of the Inferno cards that's just absolutely goated. One of the best sets we've ever received in 2K. The Inferno set, which is great, especially for the time that we got it. And Deandre Ayton is no exception. He's just another one of those, like, insane defensive cards, even on the perimeter, with really good post game, but then has a really solid jumper with an 80 shot 3 that really allows you to super good just knock down a lot of shots. Also, the long layup package, which is super cheesy, good tendencies, and good just badges like downhill, quick first step like that to make him a little bit quicker. So overall, I just love this Diamond Deandre, and I think he's one of the better budget cards you could pick up. Next up is Pink Diamond Chris Kaman, a card that I was kind of disappointed with, if I'm being honest. I just think he kind of fell under the radar because it was one of the last sets that we got, and when we did get, you know, Chris Kaman, that was the same time that you could actually go ahead and pick up, you know, Sean Marion and Kevin Love, or Clay, sorry. So nobody was really like, oh yeah, I'm locking in this set for Chris Kaman. It was like, if you locked in this set, it was most likely because you were getting Clay, not because you were getting Chris Kaman. And if you did get Chris Kaman, his wingspan is actually shorter than he is tall. He does have a lot of Hall of Fame badges, like in defense and stuff like that. But if we're being honest, this Chris Kaman is on the same level as Deandre and Karl Malone. So if you wanted to move Chris Kaman up, you'd probably have to move Deandre and Karl Malone up as well, because like just stats wise and all that, he just doesn't pop out too much. Jump shot 50, decent jumper, actually don't mind it, which is pretty nice. Okay dribbling, okay dunking, like just a lot of okay. Doesn't really jump out to me. Plus it's Chris Kaman, he just doesn't bring a lot of hype for me personally. Next up is Diamond Chris Bosh, who has one of those beautiful, wonderful jumpers up there, which is just always really smooth. And I think Chris Bosh is just a great card because obviously he's just one of those pick and pop threats, which is great. But aside from being a really good pick and pop threat and a really good interior defender as well as a good post guy, that's really all he has, which can be a bit tough. But he does have a good jumper, a good long through layup package, some really good dunking. I just think overall he needs that quick release timing, and we could be great. But when we get a Pink Diamond Chris Bosh, or even an Opal Chris Bosh, and they make him cheesy on the level of like Anthony Davis or Dirk Nowitzki, whoo-hoo, it's going to be nice. Next up is Diamond Brook Lopez, who has one of the best jumpers you could possibly have in the entire game with the Brook Lopez base, and then it's just the definition of a beautiful 3-and-D all-around center. If that's what you want, Brook Lopez has got you. Next up, Pink Diamond Bob Mcadoo, another card. I think that came out with Chris Kaman. I think you lock in Bob Mcadoo to get Chris Kaman. If I'm not mistaken, I could be mistaken. No, I'm not mistaken. I'm good. I'm sticking with my guns. But anyway, Bob Mcadoo is another like undersized guy at 6'9", which is a little bit tough, but does have Hall of Fame clamps, intimidator, downhill, quick first steps, so great dunking, and just finishing in general. It is actually an okay shooter with a 91 midi and a 73-3. He's a great mid-range shooter, but a bad three-point shooter, which is why I'm calling it like an okay, if that makes sense to some of you guys. It actually has some decent animations. Jump shot 5 is cool. The Clyde Drexler jump shot. And does overall good animations, but just doesn't jump out to me. And last but not least, in the beats here, we do have a Diamond Arvydas Sabonis, who is a card that I actually debated putting lower because, if I'm being honest, I would rather use Brook Lopez by a pretty decent margin than Arvydas Sabonis. I know they're very close to being the same card, but if you go ahead and look at Arvydas, he's a slow guy who doesn't really have range, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move him down to C tier. I just don't like him as good as Brook Lopez. Some of you guys might not like it, but if I remember correctly, he's missing like rebound chases, stuff like that, so he doesn't feel as good a rebounder as he should. He just doesn't really hit as many threes as I want him to, and just overall, when I used Arvydas, I just wasn't really impressed, and as time has gone on, I'm valuing him less and less, and the more I would just rather pick up, you know, Brook Lopez or Rudy Gobert, things like that. And when I want Rudy Gobert over a card, that's pretty tough, especially when I love somebody like Arvydas, one of my favorite cards always, but just not this year. Now, starting off the A tier, we do have one of the new absolute budget demons in Diamond Andrea Barnyani, and this man is a demon. So fun to use. A 7-footer that comes with Hall of Fame range extender is already how you get me on board, but then you just add a bunch of other good shooting badges, intimidator, good defense, good finishing, good post game all around, the Amari Stoudemire jumper, and it is just over. I loved the Ruby Andrea Barnyani, and this diamond just blew expectations out of the water. He is just such a fun card to use overall. Next up is Diamond Jared Salanger, the Evo'd Up card. Obviously, we're not going to talk about those Amethysts. You know, we're going to talk about him Evo'd Up, and he is amazing when Evo'd Up. You get him up there, and he does go from one single Hall of Fame badge to 17. That is 16 gained in one Evo, which is crazy, including quick first step. So I know I've dogged on some other guys for being a little bit short, but there's just something about this Jared Salanger with that jump shot 38, which is always going to be one of the best jumpers if they keep it the way it is in the game, and it just makes him amazing. Honestly, I'm taking Diamond Jared Salanger over Karl Malone, and you can at me whenever you want if you disagree. Next up is Pink Diamond Wayne Embry, one of the best free cards you can get in the entire game. He just absolutely shreds, does everything well that you would need, and the only thing that can make him better is range extender. It just sucks that he's undersized. Like, that's the only negative. Next up, we have Galaxy Opal Shaquille O'Neal, the Age of Heroes card, and he is the best back to the basket big. Like, there's really no question about it. Quantum Shaq, Galaxy Opal Shaq, like, this is the best card that you could get that is a non-shooting center. 7'1", 7'7" wingspan, a bunch of Hall of Fame badges, including downhill and quick first step, and they juiced him up in speed and dunking and post-game and defense, as well as speed boosting because they didn't give him a shot 3, and I couldn't be happier. Like, I've never seen a Shaq card that is so dominant in the game despite not having the cheesy shooting, and I think it's amazing. And if you want that, boom, like, get Shaq, get the big diesel, he's gonna be great. Next up is Galaxy Opal Moses Malone, the token marker card that we got in Season 5, and he's actually pretty solid. 1 or 2 things from becoming a top tier center. He already has a bunch of Hall of Fame badges like Showtime, like Clamps, Catch and Shoot, Quick First Step, Downhill, Intimidator, Rebound Chaser, which is all great. But then has a bunch of good goal badges, has some amazing total stats like a 94 median and 85-3, already great post game, already great defense inside and outside. But then you had a little bit of a range extender here, a sniper there, and then boom. Moses Malone is a demon, and he's still, you know, a 6'10", which is an okay height. The long layup package and just great dunking. Moses Malone, he's great. Next up is Pink Diamond Lamarcus Aldridge, who's kind of the same story as Andrea Barnyani. They gave him the Amari Stoudemire jump shot, and it is one of my favorites to use in the entire game. It is so smooth, it's so clean. Still a capable defender, but that shooting is just so elite that I think it brings him up into the A tier. Next up is a card that is always cheesy every single year, and it is Pink Diamond Kristaps Porzingis. They gave him the Brook Lopez base, and then juiced everything else up. Like, what could you not love about Porzingis? Plus, he's part of the Inferno set, which just has some sexy card art, and we all know good card art increases how well the card plays by tenfold. It's just, it's facts. That's how it goes. But in like all honesty, Kristaps, you give him quick first step, it is amazing because he already has deep threes, difficult shots, a dead eye, catch and shoot, sniper, green machine, all in Hall of Fame, a 93 shot 3, good speed of an 80 for a 7'3" guy, and just all around great defense and great rebounding. Kristaps is just one of those cards that, because he's so tall, feels insanely overpowered. Next up is Pink Diamond Joel Embiid, and again, I'm going to say it here because, you know, some people just question a little bit. Pink Diamond Joel Embiid and the seasons of giving Pink Diamond Joel Embiid, the moments in the seasons of giving, are exactly the same besides a few differences, and the moments is just slightly better than the seasons of giving, so we're only ranking the moments. But anyway, he's just a great shooter, a great defender, comes with silver range, which you gotta love. Jump shot 47 is a super smooth and super nice jumper, especially for big men, and it makes Embiid great, and he's still got that post-game and interior presence that you would need out of a guy playing the center. So Embiid in A tier, it goes. Next up is Diamond Domantas Sabonis, a card that is just an absolute demon, and one that I feel like when it comes to a free card, it doesn't get much better than this. He comes with gold deep threes. He has some great defense, although you do need to add clamps to him, and I should probably do that on mine still. It's a bit of a hurt, but Domantas Sabonis, if he didn't have jump shot 10, I feel like would be an S tier center. Like, if you gave Domantas Sabonis the Jared Salanger jump shot and jump shot 38, boom, it's over. You give him jump shot 29 on Chris Bosh, boom, it is over. And Domantas is like one of the best cards in the game, but still is super solid even where he is now. Next up is Amethyst Dino Raja, one of my favorite centers in the game. My guy Dino. Anybody that's been following the channel for a while, since Dino was put into the game, you know how much I love this card, or just this guy in general. He is just amazing. Jump shot 4 is great, has all of the gold badges you could possibly want in the world besides clamps, and it's just an amazing shooter. And he has that 7'11" wingspan on a 6'11", or basically 7-foot guy, which is just so overpowered, so cheesy, that max wingspan Giannis type of build. Once we get an Opal Dino, which 2K, if you don't drop an Opal Dino this year, I will never be playing the game again. It's going to be over. He's going to break the game, and it's going to be so fun. You guys can tell I'm excited for it, man. I love Dino Raja cards. And last but not least is Diamond Chris Boucher, who is basically everything that Dino Raja is, but with more Hall of Fame badges, which, if that doesn't sound good to you, I don't know what you're on. Like, he has a Hall of Fame Showtime, Intimidator, Heart Crusher, Pogo Stick, Catch and Shoot, Pick and Popper, you know, Contact, Finisher, Giant Slayer, all that wonderful stuff. Still has range, still has quick first step, still has clamps, just as good as stats, and pretty good jumper and jump shot 15. It surprised me with how great it was. The long layup package, great dunking as well, and even some decent dribbling moves and some of the best tendencies in the game. Diamond Chris Boucher is an absolute beast, and I shame anybody that hasn't used him and talks down on him because he's actually really, really, really good. And now, the S tier should be no surprise to anybody, to be honest. I'll probably just fly through these. Galaxy Opal Anthony Davis. Like, if you're questioning if Anthony Davis is S tier, I think there's something wrong with you. Some of the best animations in the game, some of the most Hall of Fame badges in the game, some of the best stats in the game. Anthony Davis is an S tier. Only thing that can make him better is the Curry slide. Galaxy Opal, Age of Hero Nikola Jokic, or the glitch Nikola Jokic. Again, just like we were talking about with Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic has the same philosophy. They're basically the exact same card. There's one difference, and it's really not even like that big of a deal. Like, for most of these Age of Hero cards, if you guys didn't know, there's almost no difference between the two. Like, I think I was looking for James Harden, and the one difference was like Hall of Fame teardropper. When it comes to Nikola Jokic, the difference in the two cards is the fact that the Age of Hero card, the one we're showing on screen, has Hall of Fame Pick and Popper and Hall of Fame Pump Fake Maestro instead of gold on both of those badges. But anyway, Nikola Jokic has 24 Hall of Fame badges in that. Some of the highest stat totals you could possibly have on a center in 3,075. Has Hall of Fame range, gold clamps, a pretty decent jumper. It's not like amazing. Is the same jumper as Isaac Bonga. It's not amazing, but it's definitely better than what it used to be, and it makes this Jokic just a beast. Next up is Galaxy Opal Yao Ming, a card that a lot of people hated on, but then the second you go against Yao Ming or you use him, you realize why he is so good. He is so tall, just a thick boy, and it makes it so annoying to go against, because if somebody has Hall of Fame deep hooks on Yao Ming and goes under the post and just hooks over you, there's nothing you can do. You just have to accept that that hook shot is going to go in and that you're probably going to lose the game. It's tough. And that's why I ranked Taco Fall higher than I originally was going to, because of the prevalence of Yao Ming and that post hook cheese. Next up is Galaxy Opal Hakeem Olajuwon, which is basically just Anthony Davis, which is better stats and badge-wise, but slightly worse animation-wise. If you like AD, you'll like Hakeem Olajuwon too. Next up is Galaxy Opal Dirk Nowitzki, the best center in the entire game and arguably the best guard in the entire game. Like, it's really not even close. If you guys didn't know, they did change Dirk Nowitzki's jumper from the Dirk Nowitzki jumper, what a surprise, to jump shot 94, which is a bit of a different jumper, but it's the same one as Colin Sexton, and it makes Dirk an absolute demon. Now, the one difference between the two cards is that the the Age of Hero Dirk has Hall of Fame clutch shooter instead of gold clutch shooter. So again, we're having the Age of Hero Dirk on here, but they're basically the exact same card. And I mean, Dirk has a quick first step, downhill, intimidator, rebound chaser, pogo stick, deep threes, difficult shot, sniper, catch and shoot, posterizer, all in Hall of Fame. 90s in all of his shooting, 91s in the speed, amazing 80s in everything, defense, a good post game, a good dunking, he can speed boost, he has pretty good dribbling animations, and jump shot 94 on quick is absolutely insane for a 7-footer. Like, Dirk Nowitzki, easily the best center in the game, and probably the best guard in the game. Not last but not least, but second to last is Pink Diamond Glitched Marcus Cousins, a card that has a great jumper, really cheesy animations, good defense, good post game, just good everything all around. I really like the Pink Diamond Marcus Cousins. I think it gets a little bit slept on for how great he is, but just overall is really solid. And last but not least is Galaxy Opal Kevin McHale, the reward for going all the way up to the Galaxy Opal tier and then going 12-0 in Unlimited. And he's just amazing. Like, a Trey Brick-based center with as many Hall of Fame badges that he has, especially in defense, just cannot be understated. Absolutely love Kevin McHale. Let me know what you guys think about this list down in the comment section below. Make sure you guys like the video, guys did enjoy, and subscribe if you guys are new. Comment down below your guys' favorite center, as well as check out all the other tier lists that we have done in the links in the description down below. Subscribe if you guys are new. We are on that road to 10K subscribers. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see y'all in the next video.